What we have today is not a car, it's an art, it's a pinnacle of Mercedes engineering. It's what made in Germany once meant something. Ladies and gentlemen, the W124 Mercedes.
Birds and people are living together in seemingly perfect harmony, until one day a young man catches fire. This is Phoenix.
I don't want to be talking about this car like exterior interior too much because chances are you have seen it. What I want to convey today is the emotion, to bring back nostalgic feelings in you. So we're gonna just walk a little bit around and then we're gonna hop into the car and drive it. That's what I'm really looking forward to. Guys, I'm very excited about this episode because look at this thing. Like, come on, look at this. Look how beautiful this is. If you look at 124 Mercedes and you are indifferent, you either have no soul or you are not a car person. Nobody in the car world, regardless of whether they're a BMW fan, an Audi fan, I don't care. Nobody can look at 124 and stay indifferent. This is the definition of a Mercedes. This car was born in 1992 and it's a Mercedes 400e. The engine is actually V8, 4.2 liter, M119, the younger, smaller sibling of the almighty E500 that we all love and admire. This car was built back in the day when Made in Germany stood for engineering, stood for quality, and is the reason why so many people today love Mercedes-Benz. A lovely Bruno Sacco era design with its like traditional characteristics, square looks and aggressive stand on the road. Look at this thing, look at the line and look at everything, guys. If you didn't know, Bruno Sacco was not just a designer. He was, prior to becoming the head of Mercedes-Benz design, he was actually in charge of safety at Mercedes-Benz. So he was an engineer at heart, at soul, and is the reason why W124 was regarded one of the safest cars. And today, Mercedes utilizes and uses many of the breakthrough technologies created back in the day for specifically 124 and all the cars from that era. Friends, when I was 18 years old, I moved to Russia for education. And one thing I noticed in Russia that everybody had dash cams. I mean, all of us must have seen Russian dash cam footage on YouTube. It's pretty entertaining. When I moved to the USA, I noticed very few people had dash cams over here, which makes sense given people generally drive careful over here. Until recently when my friend got rear-ended by a pickup truck, whose driver started blaming it on my friend. He would have never been able to prove that he wasn't guilty if he didn't have a dash cam. So I think dash cams are a must-have. Which is why I'm happy to introduce you to the Red Tiger dash cams, which sets it apart from the competition is the superb video quality both in daylight and nighttime. I tested the product in daylight, in twilight, at night, and it took nice and crisp videos every time thanks to the Sony Starvis 2 sensors in front and rear cameras. It has 3-channel camera setup, front, cabin, and rear view. The front camera is 4K, cabin is 1080p, and the rear is 2.5K. The camera has dual channel HDR, which improves dynamic range, ensures balanced exposure, and reduces overexposure or underexposure in challenging lighting. It features the world's first full night color vision in cabin view. All cameras are wide angle, ensuring no important detail gets left out. You can zoom in and see the license plates of the cars in front of you. The product comes in a nice package and has everything needed for installation, including manuals, trim removal tools, and very long cables for discreet installation, even in the long minivans and large SUVs. Installation can be as simple as plugging to the power source or hardwiring, which will enable the night guard feature, which is a full colored parking monitoring feature. I highly recommend the Red Tiger dash cams. Check out the link down in the description box to get your dash cam today. The rims, look at this. Look at those monoblocks. Although 124 never came with the monoblocks, but I'm really glad. I really love that the owner put them on. I think it fits the car just so beautiful. Look at this, guys. Look at this Bruno Sacco line, right? Look at this. Look at this antenna. A pinnacle of Mercedes engineering from the day. The rear end looks just as lovely as the front end. Double exhaust tips, nice and beautiful. W124 was the first car in general to get the E-Class classification, but that came later, I believe in 1993 or something. This car still has like 400E. In later models, they put the E before the engine size, and that's how E-Class was born. Trunk, I love the low uh, load deck for easy cargo loading. The trunk is like huge, it's practical. I could actually slip in this thing. It's look at this, how beautiful, like felted, deep. Just, I don't know, man, like cars back in the day were just charming. They had a soul. That sound, that feeling, mechanical feeling of closing doors. It closes like a safe, like a vault. And the smell, it's an event. It's an event to get into like older Mercedeses every time, especially 124 with its beautiful dashboard, kind of like minimalistic but so stylish, uh, like just so beautiful. We don't need huge screens. This like interior is a proof that screen is not a design and it's not going to age well. What's gonna age well is an interior like this. We have like plenty of like nice leather everywhere, real wood. The car is in very great condition for its year, but like I said, the owner is going to make it even more perfect. The steering wheel, you know, back in the day the steerings were like gigantic. Mercedes steering wheels were gigantic, but nowadays I kind of love it. Not only was it beautiful, but it was also like technologically advanced. Look, we have like full power controlled seats, including the headrest. With the push of a button, you can put the rear headrest down for additional visibility when you are backing up. Electrical sunshade, electrical antenna, electrical everything, heated seats. In your car, when you put the visors down, you sometimes still get like dazzled by the sun through this area. There's a little visor for that. All right, guys, let's drive this thing. Let's drive this beautiful machine from 80s and 90s. I gotta manually adjust the side mirrors. How do I move them? Okay, I've already forgotten how you do that. The passenger side is full electronic. It's actually pretty good. They're kind of like small for nowadays, like, you know, not that informative, but they're so charming. Little, square, boxy, just like how they used it back in the day. That subtle burble of the V8, we can hear it. It's not that subtle actually, because the owner has modified the exhaust and I would have done the same. Mercedes is back in the day, they just like have superb ride quality. No Mercedes today, even with like their, you know, airmatic suspension or even hydraulic suspension, nobody drives as nice and feels as soft as these cars. And then there comes the steering, right? Just like turning this thing, it's huge, it's thin, so by modern day standard it's outdated, but it has such a nice kind of like weight to it. When you like kind of like move it left and right, it has very pleasant tactile feel to it. Yeah, old school V8 sound. When you're driving this car, all you want to do is lay back, relax, turn on the stereo, and bring on the modern talking. Sherry lady. Everything here, everything, the lights, everything has such a like nice weight to it and click to it. 0 to 60 is in 7 seconds. It's not, may not be impressive by today's standard, but believe me, it was very impressive back in the day. Exhaust is so lovely. Deep V8 growl. Look at the speedometer, guys. Look at the speedometer. This is what we want, right? We do not want like 25 million screens that's gonna look like ugly in 5 years. Real tachometer, real speedometer, everything is real. Nice kind of like, I guess, font and colors. And not a single like error light. This is not your BMW. This is Mercedes. Built back in the day when Mercedes as a brand stood for quality and engineering. Even like rattles here, like nothing, everything is so solid. Unlike newer day Mercedeses that squeak and make all sort of like sounds right out of the showroom. Not in this car, man, not in this car. Everything here is like solid as it gets. Back in the day, Mercedes window controls were not on the door, they were right here. And if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense, right? It's like it's kind of like you share this space with your passenger. It just means that your passenger is as important as you are, and you share the controls. Oh, that exhaust sound. The car feels like so heavy, so planted. It has such a beautiful kind of like elegance to it, and like stance on the road. When you see one of these in good condition on the road, you immediately like start to appreciate it. You want to like say hi to the driver.
Yeah, it gives you a lot of pleasure. When you're driving it, you kind of forget about everything and just,
Right. I bet it gets a lot of attention too. Have you ever had like compliments on parking lots and stuff?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to buy 124?
So it was like a project car, just to, go back in time to, see how I can feel again driving it,
Uh-huh. So did you have it like back in the day?
I had one back in the 90s.
Which engine?
It was the 300.
300.
Yeah.
It's very like hard to explain. You get into like a 30-year-old car basically, and it just feels like a Mercedes. This is how we know Mercedes. This is what we love, and this is what people complain about nowadays, that Mercedes is losing its connection to its origins. But yeah, everything here is just like so easy. You will never get into this car and think, oh, how do I do this? How do I do that? You will feel like you've grown up like with this car your entire life. That's how intuitive everything was, thanks to the designers, engineers back in the day, when cars were made by engineers and not by marketers.
Yeah, mechanical, very simple,
Very simple, right? And reliable too, right? There's not much you need to be fixing or anything.
Right.
All right, guys. I hope I was able to, through the video, I was able to convey to you what it is like to drive one of these older, beautiful Mercedeses. All right, I'm so appreciative to the owner for letting me drive this car, a car from my childhood, I guess, and let me know which car you drove when you were younger that you still remember and love. I'll see you in the future episodes.